Okay, well, as you can tell by the title of this, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Q today. Hello, everybody. Today is January 7th, 2017. You might wonder what in the world's going on here. Well, I'm testing live streaming Studio Lives. I can see my signal still has a major problem, however, so I don't know how this is coming across, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. Yeah, I'm definitely showing I'm in the red, not the green. And the image will probably jump around a little bit, but I think the sound will come through. So I'll just go ahead and I'll see if I can improve the signal strength in some other time. Uh, I don't want to get into a lot of detail today. There are a lot of people doing that right now, and frankly, I had to back off of it a little bit. This whole thing on the boards, the 8chan board with Calm Before the Storm, all of that that's going on. You know, and I attribute it mostly to people being anxious and wanting things to get done. But you always do have the infiltrators that are trying to, cause a problem. Whether or not they succeed, I mean, just the mere fact that the issue is there shows that it's of concern. So I'm just kind of backing off and watching it right now to see where this goes. But let me say this, okay, while I still have a signal, and then I promise you I'll try to fix the signal problem later. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that considering where I am, but maybe I can live stream from someplace where it has a guaranteed signal strength. Anyway, I've heard the joke. Actually, it wasn't a joke. It was a saying from an acquaintance of mine. I never actually really met him either. It was kind of secondhand. And he said, "I know there's a God. There are two things I know. The two things I'm absolutely certain of. Number one, I know there's a God, and number two, I ain't him." Okay, I'm going to say the same thing in regards to Q. Okay, I know Q's real. Okay, and I know I ain't him. All right. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. As I said early on, Q is a team. I'm not even part of the team. Okay. So I don't know who is and who isn't. I have my ideas, but it's nobody that, in my opinion, it's nobody that's out there on 8chan or any of these things posting. I mean, on Twitter posting about the 8chan thing. Sorry, it's still a little early, um, and I just wanted to make sure that I said this. As all of you know, I work very closely with. And I appreciate them for this because it was trust on their part. I work very closely with Tracy Beans and Scott Anthony, Jordan Sather to some extent. I mean, we don't really talk about subject matter, Jordan and myself, but we are known to communicate on a semi-frequent basis. So the point, and Isaac Green is great. And again, I could go down the list on all the people that are working so hard on this, including all of you. But whenever you have a situation like this where something takes off the way Q does, you'll have certain individuals that will want to claim it for themselves. And not necessarily because there isn't some truth to that, but sometimes it's just the fame thing again. So if I have ever suggested or said something that suggested that I was saying I was part of that, I want you to know that I'm saying it here. There are two things I'm going to say for sure, okay? One is, I know there's a Q, and number two, I ain't him or them, all right? End of story. I hope I don't shatter any hopes and dreams out there, but that's just the case. That's just the fact of the matter. So let's keep watching this. Like I said, I've backed off a little bit. I'm not going to spend any time on this live stream. As you can see, the lighting's not quite right. There's some other things that I've got to adjust. But I figured that since I'm checking it, I might as well do it from here. Yeah, I have actually a desk microphone. I changed the camera. I'm going to make this whether I should or not, I don't want to interrupt all of the good people out there who have, the steady type of broadcasts at a scheduled time. But I guess I do approach things from a slightly different perspective. So maybe that'll be worthwhile. Maybe you all can leave in the comments down there whether or not you think I should do this on a scheduled basis of some sort. But I will have to improve the the internet connection. That's just, I don't know what we're going to do about that. Like I say, I might have to move to another location entirely, which isn't altogether impossible. So I don't know how this is looking in its final form as it comes to you. I imagine the signal as far as the picture is probably being interrupted quite frequently from what I'm seeing on my on my gauge here as to the connection, how good or how bad it is. So I'll leave it at that. I just want to thank everybody that is out there trying, and I know it's frustrating. I got frustrated yesterday over a couple things. I think if anybody follows me on Twitter, you'll know. I just pretty much, I saw all this going on, and I thought, wow, I got to back off. And look, Q, as I said before, I pretty much got the marching orders as of just before Thanksgiving. I could see where all that Q was saying was going, and everything else, in my estimation, after that was icing on the cake. There's a statement now that apparently they have moved off of 8chan on Calm Before the Storm and have actually gone to their own Q channel. Well, I'm going to be checking with some people about that who will know far more about it than I do as far as that is concerned. But this just shows what I said in one of my tweets, that as the stream moves down, right, the further away you get from the source, the more polluted it gets. It's supposed to clean up, but it's not. It usually doesn't clean up enough. Not when you have a lot of things going on along the stream, as it heads out to a river or whatever, the ocean. In other words, the further away you get from the source, the more polluted it'll be. And I'm not saying that all of that is intentional by the people involved. And I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying here. I'm not, like I said, there are a lot of good people out there who are just trying to do their best, but you will always get, and I suspect there are people that we don't really know their true names or whatever. Some of them maybe, but that will try to use it for their own purposes to gain fame or more money or whatever. I am not saying that's Tracy Beans, Jordan Sather, Scott Anthony, B, or any of those. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But there are going to be people that will do that. And if in fact the Q team has moved from the CBTS board to their own, that signals another issue. But I'm not prepared to go there. I don't know the details. We'll wait and see. I don't know who's going to be able to. I know about the 8chans and how they work, but I'm not certain I'm going to understand how this can be verified at all. I know people say, well, the trip code and his real complicated password, like I was saying, yeah, really, like Matlock. That's not password. I'm sorry, not from an intelligence person. It's not. I've already talked about that, and of course now we know that did have other meanings, just like I anticipated. And then there was no way that was his password. So I'm not sure how we're going to verify us, but I just wanted to calm everybody down and say, okay, the intent of President Trump as communicated through the Q team was pretty much set by the time Thanksgiving got here. By then, we pretty much knew where this was going, and everything else is icing. It's nice to know the information. It's nice to know beforehand or after it happens what it was, and we can look back, the future, the present and the past and all that. But it's not critical if you understand the first month or so of the Q post. The rest of it you can pretty much interpolate. You can gather from the intent, what I called the commander's intent, and that's really what that was. All right, I don't want to belabor this. I got to check and see how it's turned out. I hope the information is worthwhile on this Sunday morning, January 7th, 2017, and we'll play with this and see if I can get it to work really well. No promises, but we'll figure something out. Okay, out here. Thanks for coming. Oh, by the way, I don't get the chat room in this. I think there might be a way to activate it, but I'm not even sure I'll do that with this for a lot of reasons. We'll probably have a call-in number at some point in time, which might get really interesting. All right, okay, out here. See you later.